welcome to Spilling Tea with Roxy, episode 14, which is all about mental health. Sit down, unwind, and join me for a cup of tea, and let's speak about mental health, my journey, and being kind to each other. Hey warriors, and welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea with Roxy. This week's episode is going to be a quick one. I just want to speak about MS and depression, and how MS has affected my mental health and overall in my journey. I've touched on this briefly before, but I felt like it'd be good to do an in-depth episode, especially as it was recently Mental Health Week. As I've spoken to a lot of people through my MS journey, I realised that a lot of people didn't know that MS can cause depression in itself. Obviously, we all have journeys that we deal with, and those journeys, depending on how they go, can cause anxiety and depression in themselves, which is absolutely understandable. In my own personal journey, I was diagnosed with a different illness at the age of 18, which caused me to feel certain ways. But then as I kind of adjusted my life to dealing with that, a few years later, after another health scare, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and it kind of sunk me into a deep depression for multiple reasons. One was because I was so young, as a lot of other MS warriors are. Two, because I felt alone. I didn't see anyone that resembled me, my age, my likes, or anything like that. I didn't know enough, and I wasn't empowered enough to research for myself. I'd probably, in a way, given up from dealing with a lot of depression and health situations beforehand, and I just felt like every time I was trying to fly off from the nest that my wings were being clipped. That sank me in such deep depression that I didn't really do much. I was quite active and artistic before, but I started to stay at home. I didn't really want to try to push my boundaries. My mobility still affected now, but was affected then in the first wave, I call it. And I didn't know how to adjust to that. Like, I didn't know how to adjust to walking down a hallway in university or at work and walking into a wall. I didn't know how to have those difficult conversations with people about what I was dealing with and how I felt as a person. I'm not saying I'm an expert now, because I'm absolutely no expert, but I'm on a different level in my journey where I've decided to accept myself, but it took a lot of work. I was scared. I was scared to research and look at things. There wasn't as many disease progressive drug options then, and anyone that someone presented to me, I was in a very negative mindset, and I could only ever see the negatives and all the benefits. I didn't know how to handle it, and I wasn't being offered the right care for me or the right people to talk to deal with it. Yes, I had family and friends, but as most of you know, they can support you, but they don't really understand what's going on internally inside you. They can give you a hug, of course, and tell you that they love you and they'll be there for you, but it's not the same thing. I had a lot of self-reflection and a lot of situations I had to sit with myself and figure out what I want to do and who I was. I was scared of Googling what multiple sclerosis was. And the one time I had, everything was so negative, it just didn't really help my mindset. It was only when I found you beautiful humans on social media and found a way to connect with people my age, my race, even in my city, and actually a lot of people globally. A lot of my American friends have been such a solace for me, where I've been able to conversate and speak about subjects that I didn't know how to talk about, and I didn't know were even MS or normal things or reactions to have. I didn't know how to deal with grief, is what I'm trying to say overall. Like, my mental health was mildly affected. because of the main topic of not understanding how to grieve my old self, the person that I had attached to my whole life, the person I thought I was going to be. I couldn't let go, and because I couldn't let go, I internally had made myself kind of shut down. Yes, my mobility was affected. Yes, I was having intense headaches. Yes, I had tremors, spasticity. I would easily, while dinner, I would have like a tremor or spasticity, and I would launch a knife across the room, which A, is dangerous, B, and looking back, it's hilarious, but at that time I just felt kind of useless, and I didn't know how to stop feeling like that. I still have moments now, of course, I have frustrations. I didn't realise I was angry. I was angry for why it's happened to me. I was angry because I didn't understand. I was angry because I lacked knowledge. And it's affected me massively. After 2 years of deep depression, I had a lot of deep thoughts, a lot of suicidal thoughts, a lot of thoughts of why am I doing this? And I realised that I deserved more than what I was giving myself. My MS overall hasn't changed. I don't walk any better. My cognitive function isn't any better. As you can probably tell in some of these videos, when I speak, it's all over the place sometimes, or it doesn't really come out the correct way. I still can't do a lot of things for myself. I still need a lot of assisted help and care. My cognitive function was massively affected, and I'm sure you guys can tell when I speak sometimes in these videos how it's really hard for me to get words around my mouth. And I'm still in the same place in so many ways, but I'm not in the way that I feel about myself and I feel about my disability. I've managed to find levels of empowerment, levels of understanding. I've dealt with my anger. I did that by going to talking therapy, but I also did that by reading a number of books. One is called The Anger Trap. I can't remember the author's name, but I will put it below. It was a great book. I didn't even realise when I read this book how angry a person I was at that point. I didn't even realise how I felt internally. If someone said to me, you were angry, I'd be defensive. And I'd say, no, I'm not angry, I'm not. And reading that book really helped unravel my mind and how I felt about things, and the levels of anger I was going through. It definitely helped me to move forward in my life. When I had done that, I managed to understand that I had a lot of grief and trauma from constantly going to hospital and being pushed and pulled in different directions, trauma from not being understood or listened to in hospitals and by people around me, my own trauma from not listening to myself and my own body. And then I had to go on a grieving process. I had to go in a rebuilding process as well of my own confidence and building my ability. No, it's not changed technically through my MS, but my ability to believe in myself. I wasn't going outside. I was scared to go outside because for a very long time, every time I went outside, I would pass out. I'd feel so unstable that I just couldn't do it. A device called the Olinka Walking Bike has given me a lot more confidence in that. It's a device where it's a walker and you get to sit down all the time. So you get to move and you get to be outside, but you don't have to feel scared that you're going to fall over or where's the next chair or am I going to embarrass myself? I've had intense embarrassed moments, and that's given me a level of confidence. I had to build up things by basically relearning, taking mini steps. Go outside for 5 minutes. How is that? Am I okay? Go outside for 10 minutes. Trying to be kind to myself overall and allow myself to make mistakes and allow myself not to know everything, but being okay with that. And at the same time, taking the time to rebuild and learn, actually Googling about MS, actually connecting with beautiful people from around the world and speaking to them about what they deal with, and how that affects them. What coping mechanisms have they created? Yoga was an amazing thing for me. It's not a cure, absolutely not a cure. I don't know why people say to people, take on yoga, it's going to cure you. It's not. But what it did do, it gave me a little bit of a better mental health pattern. It allowed me to feel a little bit more free inside my body, and I would notice things differently. So instead of seeing a pain and being like, that pain is there forever, I would try to use yoga techniques and strategies to test it. Is this a long-term pain, or is this a pain that can be changed with deep stretching and breathing? It's 50-50 which way it goes, but it's given me a little bit more mental clarity, and I really appreciate it. I know that we all deal with mental health. It affects us all deeply. I just want everyone, really, overall, this whole point is just to let you guys know that even though I'm sitting here talking to you now, and some people say to me, you're very confident, I've been in a lot of dark places, and I'm still on my journey. I'm glad to have you all on my journey with me. I absolutely adore you all. You all have given me a level of therapy and clarity. I will say, if sometimes you can't find the answers, and even if conversations with like-minded people doesn't help, look for a book. There's always going to be a book with an answer. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the time you need. Know that there's nothing wrong with you, that how you feel and your existence is absolutely valid, that you deserve space, worth, acknowledgement, the right treatment, the right people, and love. And that we all do. That it's okay to fail and to rebuild. I'm calling this journey now the rebirth of myself. I've had to birth myself again after dealing with the grief and the trauma, and I believe that every single warrior listening to this can do the same. Please, please do not hesitate to contact me or to drop me a message. I always feel like sometimes when I'm talking, I'm rambling on, and I don't mean to. It's just that I get so passionate and I sometimes lose my train of thought, or I can't find the right word to express myself. But I just want you to know that together we can help each other's mental health, that together if we share information, that we can create a nicer situation for all, that the MS journey is getting better, the companies are listening, more companies are being cultivated, more medicines are being created, and together we can create this beautiful pathway through many factors: diet, exercise, meditation, friendships, kindness to ourselves, the right disease modifications, and beautiful journeys, mobility aids that are getting cooler and hipper. Like I said, the Alinka walking bike, Neo walking sticks, if you don't know who they are, they do the craziest, coolest walking sticks that even light up. They help me build my confidence, especially as I love fashion and art. Having something that really feels like, no matter the element, that you have a piece of tech that reflects your personality is so empowering. And I just suggest that you find things that empower yourself, and don't let anyone or anything take your power away. Anyways, warriors, that's all for this week's episode of Spin Tea Roxy. I just want to send you love and light. Tell your love. Tell you my inbox is always open. All my messages. And I want you to take care and let you know that you're worthy, you're worth it. Your space in the world is validated. And that, if nothing else, I love you. So, ciao. Hey warriors, I hope you enjoyed the latest episode of Spin Tea Roxy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell to never miss an episode, and to keep connected, keep in tune and in love. And I will see you again in 2 weeks for another episode.